of the biggest challenges in mixed gender communication is the potential for misinterpretations. What one person says might be interpreted completely differently by the other, often due to differing communication styles and cultural backgrounds. For example, a seemingly straightforward comment might be perceived as flirtatious by one person and completely platonic by the other. This can lead to awkwardness, misunderstanding, and even conflict. Men and women often communicate differently. Men tend to be more direct, while women might use more indirect language. This difference can lead to misunderstandings. Similarly, assertive communication might be seen as aggressive by someone who prefers a more passive approach. Mixed gender communication is particularly important in the workplace. Effective communication is crucial for teamwork, productivity, and a positive work environment. Unconscious biases can influence how we communicate with others, leading to subtle forms of discrimination. It's important to be aware of these biases and actively work to mitigate their impact. Avoiding gender bias and ensuring everyone feels heard and valued are key to success. In personal relationships, clear and open communication isn't merely beneficial. The absence of effective communication can slowly erode even the strongest connections, leading to misunderstandings, resentment, and ultimately distance. Some individuals are naturally expressive and verbally articulate, while others may be more reserved or prefer nonverbal communication. So, how can we navigate this maze of mixed gender communication? Here are a few tips. Tip number 1: active listening. Truly listen to what the other person is saying without interrupting or formulating your response. Pay attention to both verbal and nonverbal cues. Tip number 2: clarification. Don't be afraid to ask clarifying questions if something isn't clear. It's better to ask than to assume. Tip number 3: empathy. Try to understand the other person's perspective, even if you don't necessarily agree with it. Put yourself in their shoes. Tip number 4: respectful language. Use respectful and inclusive language, avoiding gender stereotypes or assumption. And lastly, tip number 5: nonverbal communication. Be mindful of your body language and maintain eye contact, use open postures, and avoid defensive gestures.